Shalom, Yasharallah. This your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHIM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHIM, RAKAKWADASH. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here article, man. It's rejoicing time, man. All right, just looking at these here prophecies, everything is speeding up rapidly right now, man. All these prophecies are being pushed right now, all right? But nevertheless, as we get on down to the end of the story, man, I've been covering this here story for the longest time, man. It's this S-400 deal going over to Turkey, all right? So it says, basically, Turkey has taken delivery of this S-400 system, all right? Which there's a lot of other countries as well that's also taking delivery of the S-400 system. I believe China just received the S-400 system. But, America's not really tripping about that because it's pretty much an upgrade of what they already have. They have like S-300 already, and this was a deal that was already in place before they signed this here agreement that people wouldn't be buying from Russia. All right. But nevertheless, China wound up taking delivery of it. Saudi Arabia wants to purchase the S-400. I believe India wants to purchase the S-400. Turkey just took delivery of it. Venezuela has the S-300. All right. So as you see these things starting to come to pass, man. All right, everybody's getting armed up just as the scriptures say they would, all right? Russia's preparing these other nations, all right? And they're preparing to bring judgment on this here kingdom called Babylon the Great, all right? But this article is from RT. It says, U.S. will not sell F-35 fighter jets to Turkey after its Russian missile defense purchase, all right? It says, let me just add one thing into this, how we be speaking on, I'll be going into this S-400 system, and I've been doing a little bit more research on it lately. But, they have this thing, one of the, one of the big issues with, having both of these objects in the same place at the same time is not only that they can sit there and engineer ways to pretty much make the F-35 obsolete with the S-400, which America's doing the same thing with their THAAD system, all right? There's been an article a while back where America was painting some of their planes like the Russian Su fighter jets, all right, with the same paint scheme, all right? The reason that they did that is to get it, the computer systems to better recognize it, all right? So, like, you have any type of thing, like these new modern-day cameras that are coming out that can kind of recognize, like some cell phones advertise that their cameras can recognize a face. Like, if you're taking a picture, they can put boxes around the people's face and put a focus on that because it's trained to know what a face looks like from so many different pictures of faces that they can train it like that, all right? Same way with these systems, all right? They can... America was trying to, they painted a American plane, fighter jet to look like the Russian fighter jet. So what? They can keep testing and updating their systems. So what? They can pretty much train their computer systems to be able to shoot these here planes out the sky. Well, nevertheless, the S-400 already has that capability to begin with, all right? And it can also see these damn stealth fighter jets, all right? Because, I was doing a lot of research, and there's a couple different ways that the F-35 has multiple different stealth abilities, all right, dealing with different types of radar, all right. But nevertheless, the S-400, it has multiple bands of radar that is scanning it all simultaneously, so it's really no getting away from it. But nevertheless, there's also a component in this S-400 that will allow it's more or less like a reconnaissance. It can not only once it picks it up, it can scan it and then get details out of it, just like let me try to think of a system where like when you go to the airport, you put your bags onto the baggage, the little thing, the little x-ray thing, and you put your little, you see those movies sometimes where they showing you the inside of these suitcases or whatever, and it'll be like, oh, this is a brush, these are some clothes, this is some toothpaste, and then it'll highlight certain things like, oh, this is a bomb or this is some drugs, because it'll notice what certain types of pictures are, all right? But nevertheless, this S-400 can do the same thing, but not only is it scanning for certain things, and it can tell that obviously it's a fighter jet, and really they can pick up an object, they said the size of a soccer ball up in the sky, which is crazy. But nevertheless, this thing also can sit there and scan these planes and draw information out of it, all right? So like with a certain type of scan, it can sit there and scan the F-35s and get certain readings and things off of this here plane, all right? And get, information or certain statistics off of this here plane, man. All right, which makes this S-400 way more dangerous than like a regular S-300. All right, plus the range is a lot longer, and they're upgrading the S-400 as we speak, and then they're they say they developing, but I'm pretty sure they damn near done developing that S-500 system, all right? Because they got talks of this S-700 system that they got, all right? Which, with that shit is badass, because they can hit any target anywhere on the planet Earth, you know, ground-based targets, you know? So they could be in Russia and launch S-700 and hit a target over here in America, all right? Just straight on the ground, you know what I'm saying? Let's say a bunker buster or a missile silo or something like that, all right? Nevertheless, they said they can shoot America's intercontinental ballistic missiles, blow them up before they can even take off, all right? They can shoot them down on the launch pad, you know? But nevertheless, just getting into these, you know, these different systems and stuff like that. I'm going to go ahead and read this here article. All right, it says, U.S. will not sell F-35 fighter jets to Turkey after its Russian missile defense purchase, Trump said. President Donald Trump has said Washington will not sell Turkey its next-generation F-35 fighter after Turkey took delivery of Russian-made S-400 air defense system. Turkey has been a partner in the F-35 program, in which, you know, Turkey actually develops a couple different components for this damn plane, man. They're a partner in building this thing, all right? They make up, like, the heads-up display, the landing gear, and some other, I believe, like some, how do you say, computer software or something like that for the weapons, the weapons component, more or less to say, all right? It says the situation with Turkey is very complex and tough. We are in contact with Turkish officials, Trump said. U.S. officials have long threatened to exclude Turkey from the F-35 program, claiming that operating the jet alongside the S-400 will allow Moscow to learn its secrets, all right? Not just that it can sit here and get images of this here plane, and so it can train itself to, like, anytime we see one of these planes, we just go ahead and take off on it, you know? Not just that. That's, you know, that's kind of some old technology, but not just that. They can sit here and you know, pull a plane up next to this damn S-400, and the S-400 just sitting here scanning and reading this, and it can learn all kinds of different things about it, all right? Get into its hardware or whatever, whatnot, and read all its different files. Just like, you know, somebody hacking to your shit, your computer or whatever, whatnot, they can get all your certain files or whatever, whatnot. You know, like, you know, they talk about these iPhone, people be hacking into the iPhones. They can steal all your text messages, all your phone logs, and all your pictures and videos and things like that, you know, and you don't even see them actually picking up your phone and going through it like that, all right? But they can be in a remote area and just log in through your internet connection, all right? And you wouldn't even notice that they're there, but they're just sitting there just reading all your information, all right? Same thing with this S-400. This is why America really don't want them to have this. But what is the alternative? They're like, you know what? If y'all get this, we're not going to sell y'all the damn F-35 plane. I'm like, okay, no big deal. We can just go get Russian planes, all right? It's not a big deal to us. And plus, I believe they said that these, what is it? I think it's the, it's the S-400 system. I was going to say it's the plane itself, but I believe, like the American, they got the Patriot system and the THAAD system, all right? Which is pretty much the same thing, but the S-400 has is way better, all right? For one, the THAAD and the Patriot system, they launch kind of at an angle, which means you got to kind of have it angled in the direction you want to kind of shoot it at. Whereas the S-400, you know, you see them on the back of those trucks, those launchers, they lift up and then they standing straight up and down in the air, meaning that they can launch and go in a 360-degree direction. You see what I'm saying? So, and they can keep reloading. And another thing about those damn S-400 systems I was looking at, man, these things can operate up to shit like, I think 78. You know, like the S-400, these S systems is multiple components. You have a radar. We have two different radars, and then you have a launcher battery, all right? So you see those trucks with those missile batteries in the back, that's the launcher, all right? Then you see this big rotating antenna-looking thing, all right? That's the radar. That's pretty much scanning the whole sky, all right? Then they have a smaller radar, which is scanning the moving objects to better track the object itself, all right? But nevertheless, one of these radars, all right, and not just that, man, you could just set the radar up, all right, and be scanning the area and be getting all kind of information from all kind of different military equipment without even using a launcher, all right, which makes these things that much more deadlier, all right, because you could just have this thing here up somewhere and just scan it, and like I said, you can get all the codes and all kind of data from all these different computer systems, all right? But nevertheless, going back into this S-400 system, man, all right, like I said, they can control, I believe, up to like 70 different, like the radar can, or the brain of it can control about 70 different launchers or something like that, where they can pretty much launch up to like 300 something different rounds from just one radar. All right, so just think about that. They got one radar that can launch off about 300 something rounds on your ass, man. All right, man, hey, it's not looking too good for you Babylonians, man. All right. Hey, Lord willing, I can one day, maybe do a video on that or just put a clip together, just showcasing those weapon systems. All right. But nevertheless, it says this situation with Turkey is very complex and tough. We are in contact with Turkish officials, Trump said. U.S. officials have long threatened to exclude Turkey from the F-35 program, claiming that operating the jet alongside the S-400 would allow Moscow to learn its secrets. As Trump made the announcement to reporters on Tuesday, his nominee for Secretary of Defense, Mark Esper, reiterated the president's position during the Senate confirmation hearing. Turkey can either have the S-400 or the F-35, Esper said. You cannot have both, all right? In which, hey, man, these are dumbass threats, man. This is really like a dumb threat, man. Like, how you going to threaten them? You could either have the F-35 or you can have the S-400. Well, you dumbass people, y'all scared of the S-400. Don't you see? Don't you realize that you're complaining that your plane is in danger and in threat of getting all these secrets because the S-400 can scan that, all right? You don't have nothing. I mean, you can bombard them thing. You can try to bombard them, but really you don't have anything that can how do I say, withstand any of that, all right? Give me 1 second. Some damn people had to pull up beside me. But nevertheless, let me keep reading. It says, at a speech in Ankara one day earlier, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan hailed the arrival of his newly acquired S-400 batteries from Russia. Erdogan promised to go much further and set up a joint production with Russia in the future. Like I said, they talk about doing a joint production of this S-400 or upgrade to that, but they also pretty much signed an agreement that they was going to be a partner in developing the S-500, all right? It says, speaking to reporters on Sunday, Erdogan described his decision to buy the Russian missile system as one he was forced to make. His decision is one he was forced to make. During the tenure of the Obama administration, and Ankara had been in negotiation with Washington with a view to purchasing American-made Patriot missiles instead, until Washington pulled the plug when Erdogan's government insisted that the missile deal include a transfer of the technology, all right, which they wanted to get this so-called technology that the THAAD and the Patriot system had, but what they was afraid of, no, you can't have this because why? We don't want you to sell this. Pretty much like how Russia does. Like if you ever buy this S-300, S-400, or any of the older models, all right, you pretty much get a Russian crew to operate on it, maintain it, and all these different things, all right, because they don't really want their secrets to get out, all right? It's easy to send a spy over there and get all the secrets to it, and then, you wind up letting the cat out the bag, all right, exposing vulnerable spots, all right? Now, not to mention, what are you talking about? They wanted America to buy, or Turkey to buy this here Patriot or the THAAD system, one or the other. I was doing research on this, man. The Patriot and the THAAD system is costing, I believe, don't quote me on this, it's like $1 billion or something like that, whereas the other system is like 500,000. But nevertheless, you can wind up getting two of those for the price of one, But let me see. I done lost my spot. Give me 1 second. It says Trump expressed sympathy for Erdogan's position on Tuesday. It's not really fair on Turkey, he said. With all of that being said, we're working through it. We'll see what happens, but it's not really fair. All right. So, hey, they talking about, it's not fair, this and that for them. Because, wow, they trying to be like, well, it's not fair that this is that is going to happen. And talking about basically y'all going to be the next on the target scale. But in reality, you know what I'm saying? It's like Babylon is starting to weep and wail because why? They're like, it's not fair. All of my allies are turning into my enemies. But this is all prophesied, man. All right, the power of thy heart has lifted thee up, man. All right, because why? You think you're going to go on forever and ever and ever and ever. But what? This is not how it's going to end for you, man. It's not going to end for you well, all right? It says, purchasing S-400 also opens Turkey up to sanctions under the CAATSA, a 2017 act that can be used to penalize American allies for transactions with the Russian defense industry. However, no penalties have yet been announced. The government sources telling Bloomberg that the U.S. would still wait until Monday's anniversary of the failed 2016 coup against Erdogan passed before applying them. In reality, you know what I'm saying? They did all this threatening about what they was going to do, so on and so forth. But in reality, I forgot it was two different departments. I think they had the spokesman or whatever go out there and so-called condemn the situation. All right, but nevertheless, I believe it was the Pentagon or something like that. They was all silent on this. They not really making no moves or nothing like this. This is all just they selling wolf tickets, man. They just if you do this, you gonna do that. We gonna come over there and beat your ass. All right, motherfucker, if you cross this line, I'm gonna whoop your ass. All right, I crossed the line. If you take one more step closer, I'm gonna whoop your ass. I took another step. If you get up in my face, I'm gonna whoop your ass. I'm in your face. Now what you gonna do? All right, and this is where we at right now, man. Hey, basically this, hey, not basically, this is all according to prophecy, man. So we already see we already know what's going on, man. The men of the Lord already know what's going on, man. All right, if you got the spiritual eyes to see what's going on and the spiritual ears have been hearing what we've been telling you, man, this is all according to prophecy, and it's all going, how do I say, it's all going according to prophecy, man. Everything's going according to plan, man. All right, so let me grab some scriptures on this, man. This is a beautiful time that we in. All right, all that big talk or whatever, whatnot. Now that they done made their move, and what you gonna do about it, man? All right, this is Ezekiel 38. But start at verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, thus saith Yahweh power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. Right now, this is talking about Russia, right? It says, I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws and bring thee forth. All right, going back, being when you go back to what was that, Reagan and Gorbachev, right? They had during the Cold War. All right, we was at war with Russia after World War II. We was at war with Russia. All right, and it was a long, drawn out war. All right, it wasn't really a hot war. It wasn't really like, well, there was bullets flying, because this is where you had Al Qaeda being created at when they basically the CIA, was 3 CIA people. All right, one of them would have been Bin Laden. All right, and 2 other CIA people. They went out and got some locals or whatever, whatnot, to wage a war. It was a proxy war. Just the same thing that they did with ISIS, man. I don't really got to break it all the way down. You know what I'm saying? They try to fight these governments, but they use proxies, all right? And this is what they did. They wound up doing this with Al-Qaeda to basically wage a war with Russia, all right? A hot war, kind of like a hot war. But other than that, it wasn't really no bullets flying between America and Russia, the main militaries, all right? But nevertheless, in that same time, all right, there was a war going on between America and Russia, where it was like America was degrading their economy, degrading their infrastructure, degrading the minds of the people, destroying their morality, all right, destroying the faith in their so-called political systems and all these different things, all right, and also destroying them internationally, all right, because, wow, Russia was actually a great superpower. Russia wasn't to be fucked with at that point in time, man, all right, like the greatest military, I think, at that point was Germany. Nazi Germany was the greatest military on the planet Earth at that point in time, man, all right, and if it wasn't for basically, well, it was all according to prophecy, but really, in that their war, all right, you had Hitler was fighting wars on both ends, man. He was afraid that Stalin was gonna wind up invading his ass, and which I don't think Stalin was gonna really invade his ass, but he was like, well, fuck it, man. We got to basically go to the east and to the west, man. And he wound up, you know what I'm saying, doing all that, and then America wound up coming into the play or whatever, whatnot. But the end all be all of that, all right, Russia and America wound up being the 2 remaining superpowers. Well, America got how do I say, launched into that superpower state, all right? That's when they became a superpower, all right? And between them and Russia, they wound up taking all the resources from Germany, all right? They both split jet propulsion engines, because why? You didn't have jet propulsion engines before like 1942, around that time, all right? Because why? Germany, all right, was the first people with fighter jets, all right, like actual jet engine airplanes, all right. They was also the first people with basically like rockets, all right, like a missile or whatever like that, where you have a propulsion at the, that's propulsing it, all right. Before then, and really at the same time, like when America was fighting that war, all right, dropping Little Man and Fat Boy on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, these was just free fall bombs, man, or wire guided bombs, man. They didn't really have nothing to accurately sit there and propulse a missile somewhere from one point to another point, all right? Germany was the only people with that technology, all right? von Braun. Now, when they had the space race, all right, this is when they was testing these intercontinental ballistic missiles, these basically these vehicles to be able to shoot off ICBMs, all right? This is what wound up happening, all right? You'll hear about Project Paperclip, where America took a lot of these German scientists or whatever, whatnot. Von Braun created the V1 and V2 rocket, which Hitler used to basically during the Blitzkrieg on Europe, where he was bombing the shit out of their ass, all right? But nevertheless, these same missiles wound up becoming what we use to go into outer space, all right? Or launch things into outer space, all right? But nevertheless, just giving you some backdrop on Russia, all right? Russia was a major player at that point in time, all right? And then not only that, at the end of the war, like I said, America and Russia wound up getting all the resources and all the equipment, military equipment from there, all right? So they was basically fighting for dominance at that point in time. You had an arms race and so on and so forth. They started testing nuclear weapons and everything, all right? But nevertheless, as things unfolded, all right, you wound up seeing what? The Cold War wound up take place. Now this, like I said, was a war that was basically trying to destabilize Russia as far as crippling their economy, their infrastructure, the political scene, economics, and everything like that, and also their military, all right? And this is what wound up happening. Russia became a damn hellhole, like a third world country, up until the time Vladimir Putin got into office, all right? When Vladimir Putin got into office, this was one of the time when, as we read here in Ezekiel 38:4, says, I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, all right? You started seeing what happened when Vladimir Putin got in office, all right? And he's been in office, I believe, since George Bush was in office, all right? But nevertheless, they started working on the economy. First of all, they started purging out all these damn, how do I say, these, basically these criminals that wound up taking over, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, America was working on their ass. But nevertheless, you know what I'm saying, they puppets and shit. But nevertheless, he wound up kicking them out first, all right? Then he started, how do I say, strengthening their economy, bringing their money, strengthening the value of their basically their dollar, more or less say. We will call it dollar. I believe they call them rubles over there. But nevertheless, he started strengthening their economy, all right, strengthening and building up their infrastructure, which raised the morale of the people, which got all the people out of their stump and slumber and things like that, got everybody building again, producing again. Then they started what? Trading with these other nations, all right? They got the Nord Stream 2 pipeline they trying to get out so they can start selling oil and stuff like that over to Europe and stuff like that, man. All right, now they manufacturing these weapons. This is one of the biggest things they starting to do as of recently, man. Manufacturing all these weapons, which we're going to get to that. But nevertheless, you know, they got the Satan 1 and Satan 2 nuclear-powered cruise missiles. All right, they got hypersonic missiles, man. The S-series rocket launchers and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? The S-300, S-400, all right, S-5 and 700, all right? But as you see, these things all are, how do I say, getting better and better, or going uphill for Russia, man. All right, so this is what it's talking about. I'll turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, all right? Ezekiel 38:4 again says, I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and will bring thee forth in all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. So ironically here, they keep talking about what? All these different shields and these different shields or things like that, all right? Going into what? You have a shield and like they'll say a little further down, helmets and things like that. When you talk about shields and helmets, what are these things used for, all right? To protect you from basically a, how do I say, an offensive strike, more or less to say, you know what I'm saying? Like back in the old days, you know what I'm saying? They was fighting with regular swords and bow and arrows, all right? So what, you would sometimes wear a body shield or whatever, whatnot. So somebody came up close, try to hit you with a sword, you'd be protected from it. Or you have a shield on your arm, or more or less like in the movie 300, all right? Where they said, you know, our arrows will blot the sun out, or whatever, whatnot, you know? And they wound up saying, well, we'll just wind up fighting in the shadows, you know? So what? They wound up shooting out these, all these bow and arrows at them, all right? Which would be in modern days term today, these missiles, because why? You know, you the same design, same everything, all right? You still had the same things as just like in the olden days, all right? You got the tip, which is pretty much the weaponized piece, all right, of a bow and arrow. You know, the tip part is the one that actually hurts you, all right? Same with these thermonuclear missiles, all right? They got what they call a warhead, all right? Then you got the body of it, which is you know, pretty much help it during flight and stabilize it, all right? Same with these missiles today, all right? That's where all the fuel and stuff is being at, all right? Being held at, and the computer systems and all that is being held at, all right? Then you have in the tail, which also stabilizes it and help it in flight, all right? And the same way with the old bow and arrows, man. Helps you stabilize it in flight. Then you got the launchers, right? You got the launchers that pretty much launch these missiles out. The same way with the bow and arrows, all right? You got the bow, and then you got the arrow. You put it inside the bow, you cock it back, and you let that thing loose, man. All right? So what? In the movie 300, they shot off all those arrows, and it blotted out the sun. You know, you see that big shadow. Then what they pull out? They hid pretty much behind they hand shields. You know, they hid behind those. All the arrows hit that and pretty much blocked the penetration, all right? Same way with modern days today, man. You shoot off these missiles, which is the same thing pretty much as the arrows back in the olden days, all right? How you going to protect yourself from that, man? All right? From these missile defense systems, all right? And also you have a helmet, right? When you, back in the olden days, the helmets protect you from either somebody swinging at your head or something coming down on you, all right? Whether it be a missile or something like that, all right? Or a bow and arrow or something like that, all right? But like in modern days today, you have these missile defense systems, which is protecting you from the sky, you know, something falling from the sky coming downward, all right? But nevertheless, going back into this, Ezekiel 38:4 says, I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, S-300, S-400, S-500, S-700, Ironically, they don't have a bunch of multiple different type of or ironically, they don't have just one missile defense system type, man. They got multiple different types, man. Long range, short range, intercontinental ballistic how do I say, scale size to be able to take out something that big. All right, hypersonic ones to be able to take out hypersonic weapons. All right, all kind of different missile defense systems, man. All right. It says all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, which is Iran, which is where America's trying to get up into now, which has a joint. You know how NATO has this thing where if any country attacks any of our NATO allies, then we all going to come to their aid, right? Well, not Persia. Well, it is Persia, but Iran, all right, has pretty much the same deal. Iran and Syria, they got the same deal with Russia, man. Anybody attack any of them nations, they're going to come to each other's aid, man. And this is why you seen what happened over there in Syria happen that way, man. Because of why? America tried to go over there, and then Russia was like, nah, hell no, this is one of our allies. We're not going to just let you run up in there like that, man. Same thing over there going on with Venezuela, man. And you see the same thing going on with Turkey, man. Ultimately, it's going to be happening to all of predominantly all these different nations, man. All right, but here's going in to name some nations. It says Persia, which is Iran, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shields and helmet. All right, going back into those missile defense systems. All right, it says Gomer and all his bands in the house of Tomogar. All right, which is what going into Syria and Turkey. All right, it says Tomogar of the north quarters and all of his bands and many people with thee. All right, so what? Going right back into what the prophecies say, man. Turkey gonna be basically held down by Russia, man. All right, and what do we see in the news happening, man? So for people to be like, oh, this ain't happening, that ain't happening, this ain't at that time, this ain't what these prophecies are talking about, man, you sleep or you just don't have the spiritual eyes to see these things, man. Like the scriptures say, blessed are your eyes will see the things that you see. For many kings and prophets have desired to see the things you see and have not seen them and not heard them, all right? But and also the Most High hid this from the wise and from the prudent and gave these unto babes, man, the ones that will humble themselves down to say that, hey, I don't know everything, man. Maybe I don't know everything. I gotta listen and learn, man. All right. Continuing on, verse 7, be thou prepared. All right, talking to Russia, it says, be thou prepared, which is going into them, what, upgrading their missile defense systems. And it will, like I said, when Vladimir Putin got into office, man, they started upping everything from their economy to their infrastructure to the morale of the people, all the way up to their military and military defense systems. All right. But continuing on, it says, Salaki, give me 1 second. Verse 7 says, be thou prepared to prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. All right. Who are they going to be a guard unto? All right. Going back up, it says, let me just read verse 5 through 7 again. Persia, Ethiopia, Libya with them, all of them with shields and helmet. Gomer and all his bands in the house of Tomargar of the north quarters and all his bands. Salakia, and many people with thee. All right. Be thou prepared, prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So it's not just, let me grab another precept. What is it? Jeremiah 49 or 50 and 9. So like, give me 1 second. Yep. This is Jeremiah 59. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon. All right. This is where we are here in America. All right. For I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. All right. So going back to that great company that was assembled unto them. All right. So Russia's going to be having they're going to be the head, and they're going to have a conglomeration of nations is going to be up under them. All right. So it says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. All right. So what? They're going to all band together, and they're going to be against Babylon the Great. All right. And this is what you're starting to see happen. All right. And from thence, all right, letting you know that this is going to be they're going to be using intercontinental ballistic missiles from one continent to another continent, from the north quarters or from Russia all the way to Babylon. They're not going to be running up over here like that. All right. They're going to wind up just launching off on there. All right. When you read what Jeremiah 49, pretty much all of Jeremiah 50 and all of Jeremiah 51, you pretty much hear about all these different archers, like all you archers that bend the bow, stand around about and shoot at her and spare no arrows. All right. So what? They're going to all be launching off on America, which is going to turn this place into a lake of fire, man. All right. The whole earth is going to reel to and fro. All right. And all the people going to wail at the falling of Babylon, man. All right. Going back to verse 9, it says, for lo, I'll raise the cause to come up against Babylon, an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. The arrow shall be as the mighty expert man, none shall return in vain. Meaning that they ain't gonna, launch off 100 missiles and only like 90 of them gonna hit, and like 10 of them they wind up was duds, or 10 of them wind up, you go buy fireworks or whatever whatnot. Sometimes you get a dud in the pack, that one didn't fire off or whatever whatnot, man. Hey, this like gonna go buy a huge ass crate of fireworks and shooting through 500 different rounds, and all 500 rounds all wind up being able to pop, man. You didn't have none that didn't go off, man. The same is gonna be just like in the same day, man. All right, every single arrow, every single missile that there is out there is gonna be used in this here war, man. All right. Let me get back on topic, dealing with this S-400 system. All right. And what's going on with Babylon? This Obadiah 1:7, it says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Talking about Babylon the Great. All right, so it says, all the men of thy confederacy. All right, all the men that's confederate with you, all the men that's grouped up with you, all the men that's you in a gang, or let's say you on a football team, man. All right, or let's say you in a gang, man. All right, meaning all you dudes in the same gang, y'all decided like let's say we gonna all be Crips and we gonna all be Bloods. Y'all are all in confederation to get. Let's say you all Crips, you in confederation together against your opponents. You see what I'm saying? Y'all all together on one accord. All right. So verse 7 says, all the men of thy confederacy, meaning what? All of America's allies and all their partners, all right, have bought thee even to the border. All right. They bought you out to basically to war. You starting to see this going on with what? Turkey. All right. Because Turkey is one of their so-called, I don't know if they acknowledge them as a partner or an ally, probably a partner, but nevertheless, they're a part of NATO. All right. But nevertheless, it says, all the men of thy confederacy brought thee even to the border. All right. So, and let me keep reading. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee, and there's no understanding in him. All right. Touching right onto what we got going on right here with Turkey, man. Because why? They are a part of that confederation of nations that's in confederation with America, or Babylon the Great, man. Talking about what? NATO. All right. Turkey is a part of NATO. All right, it says, all the men of thy confederacy brought thee even to the border. Now, you see a lot of these other nations as well, too, like Spain, Germany. All right, they basically telling America, man, fuck y'all, dog. We not rocking with y'all no more, man. Germany want to make Germany and France want to make a joint production of a plane together, man. And they tired of just going, spending all their money, propping up this, how do I say, this beast of a system. All right, well, this beast of a military, and they ain't really getting nothing out of it. All right, and their whole economy is being, bankrupted, more or less to say. All right, the Germans don't want to keep putting into NATO, man. This is what Merkel and Trump got they going back and forth with. All right, so it says, all the men of thy confederacy brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee, all right, and prevailed against thee, and they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There's no understanding in him. So what is that? They that eat thy bread, those that's taking your nourishment. All right, like if you was staying in my house and I was feeding you, I'm doing what? I'm nourishing you up, feeding you. You know what I'm saying? Providing for you. All right. Same thing America's doing with these other nations. They're the ones providing them with what? Weapons and technology and protection and things like that. All right. All the men that eat thy bread. So America's over here feeding these other nations, i.e. Turkey. This is how they was into this. First of all, this NATO situation, this NATO pact. All right. Not only that, they also, how do I say, in joint production of this F-35 system. All right. They helped building this damn plane, man. All right. But nevertheless, it says, and they have, they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee, and there's no understanding in thee. All right, well, let me go back up. It says, the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There's no understanding in him. All right, so what? What is that wound that was laid up under them? All right, because you have Turkey being one of their allies or whatever, whatnot. They was being in joint production with this F-35, but America's threatening them with you can't have both. It's either the S-400 or the F-35. All right, which is a dumbass decision to be trying to put somebody in, because obviously, it's like some broke homeless woman or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Getting with Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? And she's telling Mayweather, look, it's either gonna be me or all them other chicks you got. I mean, shit, that's an easy question for me. I mean, all I'm doing for you is providing for you. You ain't got shit that you can provide for me. That's an easy question. I can go get 1 million of you. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't get but one of me. I chose you. You didn't choose me. Or, yeah, pretty much I chose you. You didn't choose me. So, really, you can't do nothing to get yourself in this position. I'm the one who allowed you to be in this position. All right? So, and you trying to leave me ain't going to do nothing but relieve me of a headache. Really. I mean, I ain't really losing out. I mean, I got all these bitches over here. What the fuck am I losing? All right. Same thing that Turkey's basically able to say. All right. What you gonna stop us from getting the F-35 now? We don't give a fuck. We help you build a damn plane for one, so we got our experience with the damn plane. Second of all, I'm pretty sure Russia would be more than happy to sell us their planes. Third of all, what you gonna do? Come over here and bomb us with the F-35? Aren't you scared of this S-400 system to get your plane around this shit because you don't know how it's gonna stand up against it? And you got a stealth fighter. This is your next generation stealth fighter jet that you're coming out with, the newest of the newest planes. All right. In reality, that plane is not all as stealthy as what the F-22 was. All right. The F-22 is a way better stealthier plane. Not only that, it was a way more agile plane, whereas this F-35 is a really fucked up design, which is can carry a less of a payload than the F-22, but also really it can't really turn as much as, you know, and maneuver like the it's not really good in dogfights, more or less to say, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if another plane got up on it or whatever, whatnot, you really can't really outrun that shit. It really can't even outrun the S-400 system, all right? But continuing on, yeah, I finished this. Let me just read it again. Obadiah 1:7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and have prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There's no understanding in him. All right? I'm going to go to one more, and I'm going to go ahead and close out after this. Oh, shit. I'm going to just read it all the way down. Habakkuk chapter 2. I'm going to start at verse 5 and read down to 10. It says, yea, also because he transgresses by wine, all right, with his philosophies and things, talking about Esau, Edom, but mainly talking about these Americans over here, all right? Yea, also, which... And I say that like this because why? You got like Edomites in other countries as well too, like Germany, France, Russia. They Edomites as well too, but we mainly talking about Babylon the Great here in America, right? Yeah, also because he transgresses by wine. That wine is his doctrines, his philosophies, his bullshit, right? Just like if I was to go get you drunk, right? Super fucking drunk to you not, you know, you making fucked up decisions, more or less to say, all right? I can pretty much talk you into damn near anything, you know? It's like if I was trying to get you to buy shit in the bag, you know what I'm saying? A regular person like, hell no, I don't want no shit in the bag. What kind of fucking deal is that? You know what I'm saying? But I get you fucked up drunk. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, bro, I got some goddamn shit in the bag, cuz. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, there's some golden shit in the bag. Motherfuckers gonna want this shit. Like, word, cuz? Yeah, bro, cuz you my boy. I'm gonna give it to you for the free 99. I'm like, word, yeah, that's my mans. You see what I'm saying? Because why? They drunk. They decision-making skills is way lower, all right? Same thing that Babylon is doing with these other nations. Yeah, man, you just... For instance, get into the, you know, your country going bankrupt or whatever, whatnot, you need funding, just sign this your paperwork. We can give you an IMF loan or whatever, whatnot, and you can get all the money that you want, whatever, whatnot. But really, once they hit you with that interest, all right, just like when you go get a credit card or a mortgage and things like that, they tell you how low your rates are, but then you fuck around and miss a payment, or, you know, after your certain rate date, you know, they'll give you a certain rate for 30, 60, 90 days, and then the rates go up. You're like, what the fuck is going on here, man? All right, you transgressed by that wine. You told them basically a lot of sucker them they ass in. All right, and then all of a sudden now they starting to see the truth of it, man. Just like with NATO, man. All these countries is like, wait a minute, we did this to, you know, basically stop Russia or stop the, you know, the USSR at that point in time. But then now they dismantled. Why the fuck we still got the NATO going on around here, man? You just bankrupting our fucking nations and shit, man. All right, but what? Now they starting to sober up and realize, like, wait a minute, nigga, you sold me some shit in the bag, cuz. This ain't no fucking good, man. You know, once you get sober the fuck up, you realize, like, damn, bro, I done just paid high dollar for shit in the bag. You know what I mean? But continuing on, it says, yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he's a proud man. Yeah, these niggas gonna buy this shit. Yeah, these niggas gonna buy that shit. You know, he's a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Always got his nose in somebody else's business, all right? Always in somebody else's nation. Always dealing with these, always snooping in other people's countries, what they got going on. For instance, Venezuela, claiming that Maduro starving out his people and the government stealing and so on and so forth. But at the same time, he was saying that, you know, at the beginning of this here year, all right, the U.S. government was shut down because Trump wanted to so-called get funding to build this here wall. So he basically shut down the government and stopped a lot of people from getting paid from their paychecks that work for the government, and stopped all the governmental assistance from going out, ultimately starving people out, man. All right, being a damn hypocrite. All right. But instead of worrying about what you got going on at home, you over in everybody else's country worrying about what the fuck they got going on in their nation. All right. It says he's a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Meaning what? You're not bringing everybody together for a kumbaya and everybody equal and you know, oh, we all buddy. No, you bringing everybody together to rule over top of them, man. All right? Shall not all shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long to him that ladeth himself with thick clay? All right, because why? These nations are now looking at Babylon. It's like, yo, dog, when you gonna stop invading countries, man? When you gonna stop with all this massive debt, man? This is why you have a lot of people dumping the American dollar, the petrodollar, and all these different things, man. They starting to see this. They can't go on too much longer because you're gonna have a global shutdown of every damn thing if Babylon keep going in the way it's going, man. Which it didn't already suck the blood, the life, and everything about not only the people, the planet, and everything else, man. All right, so now everybody's starting to wake up like, hold on, bro. It's only you that's bombing the whole goddamn planet from here to there. It's you the one that's polluting the whole damn planet. It's you that's fucking up and taking all the minds of these people, man. All right. It says, verse 7, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be booty, thou shalt be for booty unto them? All right, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. All right, because why? These nations are getting tired of being bullied. These nations are getting tired of being in subjection up under Babylon, man. But now let me grab that too. But nevertheless, all these nations are being built up now. Let me just get it out of scripture. Joel 3:9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. And this is what you're seeing now. All the nations basically around the planet Earth that's got a military is now getting geared up and preparing for basically World War III, man. They all improving their militaries right now, all at the same time. Normally, you don't have every nation on the planet Earth be improving their military and buying weapons nowadays all at the same time. Unless they know that, oh, we all about to prepare for war, man. All right? Just like, say, for instance, I don't know what fucking sports season we in or whatnot right now. But nevertheless, let's just say, like right now, I don't think it's football season. But let's just say, basically right now, me just speculating, speaking as a man, you could pretty much probably buy Super Bowl tickets right the fuck now, right? But nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? It's like, well, that's kind of far off. But what, and the Super Bowl tickets probably maybe they might sell one ticket today, maybe another ticket in like 4 or 5 weeks, maybe another ticket in like 2 months from that. But nevertheless, around the week in the times the Super Bowl coming to play, in the playoffs and things like that, guess what? The Super Bowl tickets get all sold out real quick. Why? Because the game is right around the corner. People are preparing for that, all right? Same way it's like, yeah, in normal times, people are improving their military here and there. But what? When it's about time for game time, everybody's going to start preparing all at the same time for that game to be played, all right? Joel 3:9 again, it says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares and the swords and your pruning hooks and the spears. Let the weak say I am strong. And this is what you're starting to see now happen with these different nations, man, i.e. Turkey, man. Turkey, America basically tried to do a coup attempt, all right, back maybe 2 years ago or something like that, man. But what, Erdogan pretty much stopped that real quick, all right, and then pretty much pushed America up out of there, all right, and told them they better not be coming through there with no bullshit, man. And basically America just like, you know what, we're going to just pretend like that shit ain't never even happened, man. Oh, we all buddy now, all right, but they basically talking about, well, we're going to wait till the anniversary come around, and then we're going to put some sanctions on their ass. But don't be surprised if they try, that's, the next target. Oh, we got to start putting sanctions on Turkey, which they already got them going in the works. But, oh, we're going to have to start going over there. They got weapons of mass destruction. They got this, and that, man. We got to go over there now. All right, but look, this is the snare that these Edomites over here in Babylon is stuck in, man. All right, because you really can't move now, man. What you going to say now? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you didn't cry wolf the whole fucking time, or you didn't bullied everybody in the school now. Now somebody said they finna whoop your ass, and you can't really go call on nobody to go help. Hey, man, these motherfuckers say they gonna beat my ass at school. You can help me, hold me down. Hell no, nigga. I remember when you beat my ass for my lunch money last week. That's the next person saying so on and so forth. So now you got to walk outside of school by your goddamn self, man. And this is what Babylon is being prepared for, to be left out there on its own, man. All right? But I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Oh, let me see. Let me try to grab one more. There's one, but that's not Slocky, give me 1 second. I think it's in Jeremiah. Give me 1 second, I'll look it up. This is where is that at? I think I can know where it's at. This is Isaiah 14 and 14 and 6. 14 and 4 through 6. Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how has the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? Yahweh have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that rules the nations in anger is persecuted. All right, these are all the scriptures of Babylon, the hammer of the whole earth, or he that hit the people with a continual stroke, man, who ruled the people in anger. All right, it says, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth. So you the bully that's been bullying everybody around, all right, and now that basically you about to get stomped out, you asking for help. Hey, somebody help get these motherfuckers off me. Everybody standing around cheering your ass on. Basically, it's the Fighting Friday, man. Ice Cube versus Debo. All right, now Debo done been bullying everybody on the block, stealing everybody chains and bikes. My grandmama gave me that bike, man. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing that all damn day long. But now Craig done went and was about to knock their ass out, and he want to go look for Ezel and shit. Nah, this ain't your fight. Or Denzel in Training Day, man. When he trying to get the white boy up off of him, he looking for the gang members inside the neighborhood where he lives. He's like, nah, man, you been oppressing us for so long. Now somebody of your own kind coming to put their hands on you. We ain't finna come help your ass, man. All right? What is that? Jeremiah 50? Let me look it up. 13. I say it. This is Isaiah 13 and 13 through 15. Well, shit. Let me just read on down. Isaiah 13 and 13. Therefore will I shake the heavens and the earth, and shall remove out of her place in the wrath of Yahweh of hosts in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as a chased roe, as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people and flee everyone to his own land. So what? Babylon gonna be like that chased roe or that sheep that no man taketh up, man. Now we don't want that one. That's that mad cow disease. We don't want to buy that one. Fuck that one. So what? Ain't nobody gonna come to help your ass, man. Or you gonna be out here to die on your own, man. Verse 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Going to what? You 2/3 Israelites, all right, and anybody else that want to be joined together with these damn Edomites. All right, your ass gonna wind up dying right along with their ass, man. All right, verse 16. Their children shall also be dashed into pieces before their eyes. The houses shall be spoiled, their wives ravished. Verse 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. Going back into Russia, man. This is what, hey, putting hooks into their jaws, bringing them back, man. All right. And what is that? Proverbs 21 and 1, man. The king's heart is in the hand of the Most High, man. He turneth it wherever so he will, like basically the river banks of the river, man. All right. The Most High is the one that's controlling the minds of these leaders of these nations, man, and making them do whatever he wants them to do, man. And you see everything is going right along according to prophecy, man. So it says, behold, I will stir up the Medes, which are the Russians, against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. So really, it ain't no paying Babylon or paying Russia off, man. You ain't got enough money to pay Russia off, man. They sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of, man. All right, and ultimately, it's the Most High's plan, man, and his will is being done. All right. Verse 18, their bow also shall dash the young men into pieces. They shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children, man. Hey, man, like Vladimir Putin was pleading with the American citizens, man. Talk to your mans. Because, hey, man, I don't want to have to press the button, but I will press the button and turn all of y'all into a nuclear pile of ash. And I know that my beef ain't really with y'all little motherfuckers, the citizens, but talk to your mans in them, because I don't really have right now is when I'm pleading with y'all, but if y'all don't want to take heed to this shit and I press the button, I'm not going to lose no sleep over this shit, bro. I'm letting your ass know this is my final warning, man. All right? Verse 19, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their foes there. All right, going into what? Babylon the Great, also known as America, all right, being destroyed in the final moments, man. All right, and what other landmass do you know of, like, where I could think of another one, but, hey, ain't no telling if people live out there or not, which is, what they call that shit, Antarctica. But besides Antarctica, which I think, they got military bases, people are living out there. But really, there's only, like, one place on the planet Earth right now where don't no man dwell at, and that's basically Sodom and Gomorrah, man. All right, where you can go out there and you can pretty much see the remnant of a whole fucking town and shit, whole city, but it's just a pile of ash, man, which has been preserved there all the way up to this day, man. You can walk up to it, touch it, and the ashes fall as straight ashes, man. All right? But nevertheless, the second place is going to be right here in America, man, which is going to be turned to the lake of fire, man. Ain't nobody going to dwell here no more, all right? And then also cutting this here place Babylon being talking about in Iraq, which was the last Babylon, where Nebuchadnezzar was at, but that was basically in Iraq, all right? But here it says, neither shall Arabian pinch tit there no more, all right? Who the fuck is over in Iraq right now? My point, they point solved, all right? But I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. I ain't mean to go on way this long, but hey, man, it's a beautiful time that we living in, man. All these prophecies are starting to turn the doorknob. They've been banging on the door. They done put the key in the door now, turning the lock, man. You seeing all these prophecies coming to pass ASAP, man. All right, Lord willing, we praying that the day of the Lord is coming quicker and quicker. We pray for the day of salvation, man. All right, keep your eyes open, stay sober minded in these times, man. All right, and make sure you got your house clean and got your your lamp oil. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and close out with that, saying, Call halal Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahawashah, Bahashim, Rakhakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for Yakin pushing this truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say stay strong and shalom.